near enough in the south. The impact of the drought in South Australia is continuing to be laid bare. Reservoirs have dropped to historic lows, leaving residents who have waited weeks to receive water fearful they may run out.
Gary Payne has spent his whole life in the Adelaide Hills and has never seen it this dry.
We normally don't have to panic in this area having so-called reliable rainfall, but this year it's proven it all wrong.
The third-generation farmer is relying on the last dam on his Harrogate property. Mr Payne says he's contemplating emergency water carting, but says it's a 4-week wait.
I feel pretty depressed, saying what the hell are we doing here? Having to slog away, feeding cattle all the time.
Closer to Adelaide, the drought is also depleting water supply. A report tabled in Parliament shows the lowest water inflows in 40 years have resulted in the city's reservoirs dropping to their lowest levels in more than 2 decades.
They're at 38% of full capacity right now. Same day last year, it was 50%. So we know towards the end of summer that we will see the reservoirs drop, but this is worryingly low.
It prompted the government to ramp up production at the Lonsdale desalination plant in January, a move that's never been needed until this year.
Make no mistake, in ordinary people's terms, this is a drought.
It's hoped the increased production, along with ongoing supply from the River Murray, will prevent the need for water restrictions. And despite parts of Queensland and northern SA being
Would you buy an apartment that's $535,000 and a 6.5% yield? You're going to want to look at the numbers, which is exactly why.
With a helmet like this.
Burning around the motorbike in Guatemala through the hills. Came around a corner and there's a bus overtaking a truck.
Headed over this trench with the bike going straight over the top of my head.
There's one that nearly killed.
going to have to be dragged going to have to be dragged
said, "What's going on?" And that broke open this world of this bus driver rivalry in the mountains of Guatemala.
The Mad Max-inspired drivers of these buses race each other in a competition for passengers and money.
I mean, I think it was a beautifully done piece of work, and I'm giving it 19.
19.
Halfway through, I was thinking, feeling the pressure, and just wanted to have like a bit of a break.
Welcome to Glastonbury.
I realised that Glastonbury Music Festival was on.
This is the quintessential rock festival in the world.
And I thought I'd cover that, and as an experiment, try and do it completely stoned in the mindset of most of the people there. Sort of like start the day, like have a joint, you know, see what happens.
Yeah. My name's Richard Bailey, so if there's any jobs going over there, just call me.
I was just so glad I wasn't at Glastonbury. I mean, it looked dreadful.
I must admit, I felt at some stages that I was missing stuff because, you know, I was constantly doing that, trying to read the thing along the bottom.
The judges more or less didn't like it, but all of the stoners out there said, "Oh, that was great." So there's an audience for everything.
The race is at the 3-quarter mark, and the 8 races continue their exhilarating but lonely journey.
It's one of those shows where it built over time, and you could see that the love that was happening for it was quite brilliant.
People started recognising me, and people felt like they should come and tell me what their opinions about my opinions were, and start abusing me for what they felt like were my transgressions as a judge.
I can only give him 9.
9?
John was forever being marked down by David Caesar.
I mean, I find his personality grating. I'm sure there are people who actually like him, but I'm not one of them.
I genuinely thought it was kind of funny that David Caesar was attacking me.
I hated it.
You hated it?
I thought it was shithouse camera work. I thought
John was like that guy that would get like 18 or 19 out of 20 or 6 out of 20. And just for the record, I think I gave him the highest score he got on the show.
Growing up Jewish in Melbourne, there was one Jewish miracle.
You're going, oh, okay, what are we going to get this week?
Round 22, St Kilda versus Port Adelaide. Can I use Jewish prayer to determine the outcome?
I thought I'd go and test that thesis, that the power of prayer can kind of influence the outcome of a footy match, and I go around doing all this ritualistic stuff in Jerusalem.
Here's my round 22 footy tips. I'm going to be putting them in the cracks, and I hope God's going to be listening.
There's a kind of fever keeps us on our toes.
There were many classic moments from John, but for me it was probably the streak through the streets of Jerusalem.
I have no fucking idea why I'm doing this. This is quite scary. Okay, just give me a moment. Give me a moment.
The streak is the ultimate, you know, sign to the world that you are so passionate about your team.
This is really silly, and it's quite lowbrow also. It's not like, you know, it's not clever. Fuck it. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Look, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a really fantastic film. I thought it was offensive again, as he always is, which is great, but also very, very funny. 19.
19.
Yeah.
I think the guy's a legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolute legend. I
mean, people thought it was hilarious, but I think we didn't show, which was behind the scenes, when he actually got pulled up by a soldier, which was quite scary.
What? It's a prank. I'm going back now.
Go back now. You understand me? Fucking shit, mate. Go back now.
As David Caesar says, you love John or you hate him, and I love him. John was quirky plus, but Kim Trail was probably the most adventurous and chose really challenging places to go.
I'm in the extreme north of Pakistan, in the northwest frontier
frontier province.
I mean, she went into Afghanistan, Yemen, places that were, just not seen or heard. Kim was the ballsiest.
I don't know which side to believe, but this is the image that will be etched in my mind forever.
By the end of the race, some of them were injured. Some of them were sick. They were all exhausted. But we got them all home.
Welcome to the big grand final of Race Around the World. How would you describe the whole experience?
Speechless.
Indifferent, boring.
I thought the whole planet was overrated.
Did you feel you knew when you had a good story?
You knew when you had a really bad one.
At the end, it was really between Olivia and Kim, and at the very end, the last show, they were a couple of points between each other, so the last story was really kind of the clincher.
Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The judges' points have been tabulated, and by a margin of only 4, count them 4 points, the winner of the inaugural 1997 series of Race Around the World is... Thank you. Yeah. Olivia Rousset!
I was embarrassed to win because I didn't think I was better than anyone else, and I didn't think I deserved it any more than anyone else. John was the winner, like we all know that, and I won the brown nose good girl know how to make a film vote.
John came last. His story from Brazil was disqualified because he filmed priests without their consent. And that was a violation of ABC editorial policy.
And the winner of the popular vote for this year is John Safran of Victoria. There are no losers here. All the races are winners. And perhaps the biggest winners of all are you, the Australian people. Good night.
After the race, I was broke financially, and so I went back and worked at the pub in Fitzroy.
Everyone was like, yeah, well, that was amazing. What's next?
We were broke, and there were no real jobs, and it was like, what do we do now? The funniest was when I was called by Cosmo and asked if I wanted to be one of Australia's 30 most successful women under 30. And I was on the dole and I said, I've got to take my dole diary into Centrelink, can I give you a call back? And they didn't understand the irony and said, sure.
I think it was definitely life-changing for all of them.
Oh, yeah. That thing where you've got older
All
money.
8 are working in the industry. Bentley Dean was nominated for an Oscar for a film called Tana.
It's not your show and how dare you?
Olivia Rousset worked on Dateline and won a few Walkleys. Now she works at Australian Story.
Oh my goodness.
Claudia Rowe is editing and producing at the ABC. And Dan Marsden has his own production company. Scott Herford also has a production company. Ben Davis, of course, started Bondi Rescue, and he's just had a show called Territory on Netflix. Kim Trail moved overseas and is a journalist.
Gentlemen to evil.
John Safran ended up being really the breakout star. He did all